Hello, and welcome back to the Healing with Homeopathy Substack and the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. This morning I was out on my walk, and when I'm out on my walk, I tend to get these what I call downloads of information that I need to share with the world. And here I am making a video sharing it with you. And I've always kind of explained healing in this like layering effect, right? An onion. And every time, we have our core self, and then we have these kind of triggers in our environment that add on these like layers of suppression from suppressive medication or suppression of our emotions or our traumas or triggers, like whether they're physical or mental emotional traumas, right? Then kind of layers on this onion, right? And we have all these like layers. And then homeopathics, I'm always thinking about, or in homeopathy, about peeling back each one of those layers, like slowly till you reach your core layer again. And I think I want to redefine that because I actually don't think that healing is like peeling back an onion anymore. I think healing comes at us in a spiral, not an onion. And this is making so much more sense to me because now that I've have years under my practice, right, clinical practice and on myself and my children, I see this not onion, but spiraling in healing happening instead. Okay, what do I mean by that? I mean by this is the first remedy I see, or remedy picture, right? Or the way that the constitution, like the main constitution that the person is exhibiting, main miasmatic remedies or like miasmatic properties that this client is exhibiting, or main taint the client is exhibiting. I can see that right in the consult, and I prescribe it. And then that layer heals, and then we move on to another layer, and then that layer heals, and we move on to another layer. And what I've been seeing in like my long-standing clients is we're spiraling back to the main layer again, or a layer that we've had in the past. And like my original thinking of that is, oh, why is that happening? Like, okay, yes, it's good we're returning back to the main layer, right? Like the deeper main constitution, I think that's what's happening. But I also was like, how do I view this? Is this a good thing? Did we not give that layer enough time to heal? Did we move too quickly from that layer? And honestly, I don't think that that's the truth. I just think that the healing comes in a spiral. So what I mean by that is like we heal the layer in one, like maybe we heal, like say you have a sepia layer. Let's use my case. My first remedy layer was sepia. And a lot of times I've come back to sepia and I'm like, oh, I'm sepia again. I'm coming back to that again. Why do I need this remedy again? Like, why can't I ever heal this layer? Like, why isn't it fully healed? Why does it keep coming back? Like, and now it's like, oh, I've dealt with this already. I don't want to deal with it again, kind of thinking, right? But then I realized the healing is this spiral, right? And now I'm spiraling back to that layer to heal it at a deeper level. On the less suit like so the first time you heal it, maybe it's a more superficial layer, and maybe the next time you go to that layer, it's a little bit deeper, and the next time you go to that layer, it's a little bit deeper. Because everything in life, everything, literally everything in our world and our universe is in a spiral. Think of our galaxy as a spiral, right? Think of your shells, they're a spiral, right? Think of your snail shell, that's a spiral. Think of, your DNA, that's a spiral. Everything heals in spirals. Your emotional states, you'll see those heal in spirals. Like the same thing, like you can see, oh crap, the guilt and the shame is coming back up, but this time I'm more resilient, and this time I get a little deeper. I just really loving this idea, and I want to bring this forth to you and have your thoughts about this. But like healing comes in spirals, not in layers or peeling back of onion. Because just because you peeled back a phosphorus layer doesn't mean it can't come back up, right? You can't get triggered back to that phosphorus layer because that's life. Like that's the natural wave, the natural dark and light, the natural like ups and downs of life where we can need to come back to layers again. So I'm not looking at coming back to a layer as a bad thing in homeopathy. I'm actually seeing it as a really good thing. Because the work that you've done previously, so say you had sepia, right, in my case, and then I had pulsatilla, and then I've had sulfur, and then I've had berberis, and then I've had nux and arsenicum and carcinosin. You're seeing my kind of frame of mind of who I am if you understand homeopathy, right? But now when I go back to sepia and take it again, I'm not the same person I was that took it originally, right? Do you see that? Like it's like, oh, that makes so much sense to me because you're always healing. And then, like, now we're just getting to like deeper levels of this, right? I hope that this resonates with you. I just like was walking this morning. I was like, oh my God, healing happens in spirals, not in layers. Like it's not a layer, it's a freaking spiral. And you were gonna spiral back. And there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing bad about it. It's just that this layer is not fully, or this layer is not fully, it needs more work, or we need to spiral back to it. And then the body like may go out of that one and go back to a different one. And that is totally freaking fine. And this also has me thinking much more deeply about using Fibonacci remedies with clients and myself, which has really been something I've been learning about, absorbing about. And it doesn't mean I'm always going to go to a Fibonacci, and I'll explain what that means in a minute. There's room for all kinds of homeopathy. We don't need to be rigid or dogmatic and say this is the only way. I'm really resonating with that right now. And my brain is thinking, okay, a Fibonacci is what's called a homochord, which means it's one remedy, say sepia, with several different potencies. But a Fibonacci uses potencies that match the golden spiral. So it matches the numbers in a spiraling sequence. And I'm just wondering if that's going to create a longer lasting impact and in removing that spiraling from coming back or that layer from coming back in the spiral again, which if it does, totally fine, right? I don't want you to think there's anything wrong with you or bad when one of your main constitutions comes back to the forefront. Like it's fine. That's going to happen in the journey because I don't want us to think, oh, we've tried that remedy. We don't need it anymore, right? But I also want you to think that you tried that remedy when you were this person and you are not the same person you were when you took that remedy, right? Like now than you were then. And I feel that way. I feel like my healing is always evolving and growing, and I'm certainly not the same person I was last month in some ways. So anyway, the Fibonacci's have piquing my interest with this when my brain was like healing comes in spirals. And we every time we come back to that layer, we or anything, that emotion or that imbalance, say, right? Because a layer is just an imbalance. Anytime we come back to that imbalance, we are healing that in a deeper way and we're having greater levels of expansion. So there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's freaking amazing. Anyway, so healing comes in spirals, and then that makes me think about the power of using Fibonacci remedies in particular because of the fact that it uses that golden spiral ratio, which is found literally all throughout nature and in our cells as well. So to me, that also makes a lot of inherent sense. Does that mean I'm going to be changing my practice to be like everybody gets a Fibonacci? No, it's not, because I've seen classical homeopathy or just that one power of one remedy, one potency. It's always one remedy, even if Fibonacci is one remedy, but one potency just hit the nail on the head and make the difference and move the needle. So, I mean, it'll be always like everything in homeopathy is individualized. The remedy, the frequency, the potency, everything. So, it will be individualized, and I still will be using LMs with people, my more sensitive clients. I'm very aware. I think I'm very aware and also intuitive. And when people say intuitive, some people can be turned off of that, like, oh, she's using her intuition to find the right remedy for you. That's not really what it is solely because your knowledge builds your intuition. So when you're using your intuition, you're also using your knowledge, right? They're not freaking everything is connected. It's not ever just this or that. Everything is not, it's nothing is black and white. It's all shades of gray, and it's yes and it's both and, right? It's intuition and extreme knowledge. I mean, I study homeopathy like nobody's business. I mean, like it's like my life. Teach it, I study it. It's like I live and breathe it. So, every time I'm talking to people, I'm analyzing them with even I try not to like let people know I'm doing that, but it's just what I do. Trying to figure people out and figuring out how I can best support them and just yeah, it's part of my passion and my purpose, right? Okay. So my new reframe, my greater level of expansion this morning was healing comes in spirals, not layers. And it's okay to spiral back to that layer. And it doesn't mean you're broken or something's wrong with you or that you've made mistakes on your healing journey or that why does this come back again? Frick, I have to heal it again. And it also is part of Haring's law of cure, right? When we heal in reverse order. So we're like, sometimes, something that we've dealt with already comes back to be healed again at this deeper level. And it's fine and it's good and it's great. And it's just part of the process and part of becoming you and becoming a greater sense of you, I guess is the way to describe it. All right, I hope that was helpful. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you want to learn more about when it comes to homeopathy or just healing in general, circadian biology. I'm here. Let me know in the comments. I am just at your service in a way, but yes and no, of course. But yes, at your service, because to me, you are my community and I want to serve you, but I also want to know what you want to know about. So please share with me in the comments. Share this with people who you think would enjoy it, subscribe, all the things, like it, all the things you can do to support me, and I support you. You support me, I support you. All right, that's how it works. Okay, have an awesome rest of your day. I hope this expanded your mind a little bit about how we actually heal. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys on the next video.